Not just for me, but for all of our players and our coaches included. It's been productive. Out of all the teams I've ever coached and been a part of, this team has grown more than any other team. So not only have they learned, but we have learned as well. So it's been very educational for everyone involved.
Did they grow because they had a high ceiling?
Well, I think it's a little bit, anytime you have a new coaching staff, and it's an entire new coaching staff, this is not a deal where we have, a previous coach from the previous staff. So everything and every day they show up, it's something brand new. So anytime you do that, you challenge them in different ways. Obviously, trying to create a whole new culture here. They've grown. So it's been, I would say, because we have a whole new coaching staff, it's been very, very good for them.
Pitching is the biggest question mark with this team. What have you seen over the last month or so?
Well, you're right. I mean, and you guys know this, but we lost all 30 SEC starts last year, right? We lost over 70% of our, innings. So that has been actually very, very, very good so far. The guys have really grown. Obviously with losing every single SEC start last year, we've had to put some guys in some different roles that maybe they haven't pitched in before. So that's been really good. There's some guys that have really emerged. Salo has done great. Sean Jelly has been phenomenal. Justin Lewis has done great. And of course, Zach Logue. So it's been very educational on that standpoint too.
Have you decided how you're going to use Logue and Jelly and those guys? Because last year they were in the bullpen primarily and maybe a spot start.
Sure. So right now, the big word we've used is opportunity. So there's this huge opportunity out there, as we know. We've actually used all 4 of those guys as starters this fall. That's obviously something that we need, starters. But as far as roles and who's going to throw when, that has not been established, and there's still a lot of time. Even when our fall finishes here, everything they do up till December before they go home for break, and then when they get back in January, all those times for them are going to be really important. So none of the roles have been established, but we have used all of those guys as starters this fall.
As you transition with the new staff, how important have the veterans on this team been in kind of acclimating that whole process?
Yeah, that's a great question. That has been one of the strengths of our team, is how the guys just have embraced our new coaching staff and the culture and the environment that we've created. They have just totally brought us in, and they have just welcomed every single idea. They have been just a phenomenal group to be around and coach, and it's the reason why it's gone so well is really because of them.
Have you played Evan White anywhere besides first base this fall?
Yes, that's a great question. And as all you guys know, with Team USA, he played some time in the outfield. So he's actually spent time in all 3 outfield positions as well. So that'll be something, even maybe in the spring, we'll play around with maybe him playing multiple spots other than just first base.
How does that give you more flexibility if you could move him from the first to the outfield? Who would you put at him?
Well, that gives an opportunity for Gunnar McNeil, and then maybe even some other guys to play there. But right now, it's been provided an opportunity for Gunnar to get on the field and to just get another experienced bat in the lineup.
How big is that for his future too? Just being able to show off that versatility. That seems like a really important thing for prospects.
Yeah, that's another great question, because every pro scout has asked me, "Hey, where are you going to play him?" And I said, "I don't know. If you draft him, where are you going to play him?" Right? So, that's an avenue. I guess depending on every major league club, there are 30 major league clubs, and what they value at that position is totally different. I do know he's the best defensive first baseman I've ever seen. So that obviously helps, but I also think he's a very, very good to above average outfielder too. So depending on what our team needs, for right now, that's the thing I love about Evan, is he is just so focused on our team and what it takes for our team to win, and he's open to whatever.
What's his arm look like? We don't have to see it too often at first base.
Oh, he's got a very good arm. It's an upper 80s mile-per-hour arm. I've actually even teased him. If he got on the mound, I bet he could touch a 90, But the best thing about his arm is how accurate it is. It's extremely accurate throwing.
What's the biggest thing you've learned about your guys since coming out for the fall scrimmages?
The biggest thing I've learned is just how much they want to learn. They have a coachable spirit, and they are very, very competitive. They have shown up, and partly because our coaching staff hasn't allowed them, but they haven't given away any days. They have not given away a day since we've been here, and I think that goes to them wanting to show up and learn, grow, and improve every day. But this is a group of workers. They want to work.
Have there been any freshmen that stood out?
Yeah, Zach Thompson and Chris Mockmer have thrown the ball really well on the mound, and we're obviously going to need all the help we can, especially on the mound. So those guys have done really well, and those 2 guys have made the biggest strides for our ball club.
We've seen your guys coming in and out of the new training facility quite a bit. Have you seen some results from that and bodies changing and that sort of thing?
Yes, that's one thing Coach D and the rest of our staff do a really good job of, is they are obviously excellent strength coaches. I think we've done a really good job of making sure they're putting good things into their body, and that is a beautiful facility. And for our guys to go over there and work out and spend time in there and grow, we have made a ton of gains, especially in the weight room. But with the Fall World Series wrapping up, we're about to spend a ton more time over there, and that's going to be a huge time for us, especially to get in there and start lifting a little heavier and spend a ton more time in some different areas.
Riley Mahan had a really good summer. How has he progressed throughout the fall?
He's done really good. He's one of these guys that he is, out of all the players we've had, he's maybe made the most improvements, especially on the defensive end. He's made some really nice adjustments here in the past week and a half with his stroke. He's really simplified some things, and he has a chance to be a special offensive player.
Talking about the defense, that was a bugaboo last year. Do you see that he's going to be at the same spot and move into a different position? Will there be any musical chairs defensively on the infield?
That's a good question, and none of that has been decided. Obviously, even me as a coach, having not watched and played against the University of Kentucky last year, we're still learning about him. So none of those positions have been established, and there's a good chance that he might be at shortstop, but there's also a really good chance that he may not be there. So we'll see. Connor Hetty's a guy that's really defended well, and he's done well and made huge strides even from an offensive standpoint. So guys just keep getting better, and we have a ton of time from now until the first game of the season, and I anticipate them changes being made all the way up until the season, and maybe even during the season.
It's a battle of catcher. Cotton is swelling up a little bit out here.
Yeah, you know what? He leads our team in home runs. He has just been a phenomenal communicator. One of the areas that we struggled in last year is we were 13th in the SEC in pass balls and wild pitches, and we've made a huge emphasis on that. The past 3 scrimmages, we've actually caught clean games. So between him and Troy and Marshall, they've done a really good job. Bitzenhofer's gotten in there some, but caught him out of anywhere. He's really grown, even on the defensive side. He's really grown this fall.
There's some reports that John Cohen is going to be Mississippi State's athletic director. Do you have a comment on that?
Yeah, you know what? I know his title did change, right? His title changed this past fall, but the one thing I know about John Cohen, whether he's the athletic director or the baseball coach, he's an absolute winner. And no matter what he does or what position he's in, there's no doubt in my mind he'll be successful.